Storm Tracker 9 weather with meteorologist Cameron Landfield.
Good evening, everybody. Happy Sunday. More rainfall on the way all the way through into tomorrow morning. After that, more rain for 2 days as well. But I'll show you the change that takes place coming up pretty soon here. We need to talk about the next few hours, though. Looking behind me at the stormcast, you can see that plume passing on by, which means the rainfall does come to a slight break as we move late into tonight, 11 o'clock, looking at a little bit of a break everywhere except for these pink and blue areas where there is active snowfall out in those higher elevations, but there's actually clearing in the clouds as well. Now, moving forward into 12:30 a.m., you see this little plume starting to develop down towards the southern coast, and it actually walks its way inland and gets a little bit stronger. So we could see some heavy rainfall down towards the southern coastal areas up to about Roseburg, in fact, through the early hours of tomorrow morning. Looking at 1:30 now, you can see it does have this sort of strong signature to it. Those red blobs show some heavy rainfall at that point, but the whole coast does see a little bit of rain moving into 1:30. And then as we get into 2:30, it steps a little bit closer inland. Now we're starting to get maybe Cottage Grove into potentially Cresswell seeing a little bit of rainfall. Eugene getting skipped at this point, but it does come for Eugene at 3:30 in the morning. So if you're up at that point, you'll hear some rainfall. Likely you won't be, however. So what matters is when you are up, looking at 4:30, still spread out rainfall. I think we're going to see showers as everyone starts to wake up on Monday morning. Pretty widespread at this point, except for Roseburg by 5 a.m. Now, here is the rainfall totals for all day tomorrow. Take a look. They're less than you'd expect in some areas, especially like Eugene and Corvallis there, only seeing about 0.1. But as we tend to see, there is a lot of rainfall at some areas on the coast. Florence looking at nearly an inch. But this distribution is kind of strange. Looks like Coos Bay only sees 0.15. So there is just this really localized cell of heavy rain that takes place over Florence. And that should be a little bit later in the day as well. So a little bit of a strange one. Still a wet one, however. Now, I want to move on to something else here, and that's going to be the winds. As we move into the evening, the winds are going to have just a slight spike and then move their way down. We're looking at 11 o'clock right now, and you can see still a little fast over Newport, but for the most part, as we move into the late evening and into early tomorrow morning, things die out a little bit. So we don't see nearly as heavy of gusts, sort of average gusts along the coast in those 20s as we get into the morning. Doesn't look like we're going to wake up to sideways showers, but certainly it is still going to be wet there. Now, here's the pattern over the next couple of days. And I want to point something out. Here's the main low we've been dealing with, of course, but watch this. Changes are on the horizon, still sitting around as we get into Monday and Tuesday, just starting to exit. But look at this, a beautiful ridge starting to develop for Wednesday, just in time for Thursday, Thanksgiving. I think it's going to be a sunny one for everyone. And that brings me to the rain chances. They drop off into next week, starting Wednesday and Thursday. 7-day forecast will point that out for you as well. Check this out. The coast dry from Wednesday forward. Little thunderstorm chance coming up Monday, however. Moving into the Umpqua Basin, 58 for today, then down to 50 going into tomorrow. Looking at the high 40s most of the week ahead. A lot of chances for fog, too. Cascade passes snowy all the way through Tuesday. Snow drops off Wednesday into the low 40s after that. And finally, Willamette Valley looking at showers all day Monday. Just morning showers coming up Tuesday, then things dry out, looking a little cooler into next week, but certainly drier, 31 degrees between Thursday, Friday, and Friday to Saturday.